Welcome to Castles to Cauldrons, where every journey starts with a little bit of magic.
Welcome to episode 36 of Castles to Cauldrons. I'm your host, Jason Davis. I'm here with Micah, Terry, and back from her world tour of Toe Jams, Rachel is here.
Yeah. Welcome back, Rachel.
My toes are clean.
Yeah.
What was it like? You were going for like 5 weeks?
She was gone for
The last
Like
two episodes.
two episodes.
It felt like
It was that two episodes you guys did without me?
Back, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
you were
Yeah.
missed.
Yeah,
Thank you.
She won state in the Toe Jam, and then she went to nationals.
Yeah.
So she had to represent Pennsylvania in the nationals. So we have a Toe Jam winner over here. It's great. We also have Glenn here. He's one of the agents at Magical Travel. He went with me on the Star of the Seas, which I will go ahead and say on behalf of him and myself to Rachel and Denise, thank you for allowing us to do this. It was a great little trip, getting to experience this cruise ship and everything it had to offer. So thank you for letting us do that.
Absolutely.
course.
Thank you.
Of
Glenn,
course.
can you tell us a little bit about yourself and like what's your history with cruising, with Disney, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I've been going to Disney since I was a young child, and that's that.
When you say
No, I've been going to
child, was
Disney.
it like, 1971. Or?
Yeah, I think the first time I went was in 75. We are still trying to reenact one of my photos with the high knee socks with the what's that, accountant, the visor. Remember that back in the 70s and 80s?
That little green,
The green
like the
visor.
poker-
Yeah,
poker
we're trying to
visor.
figure it out. It was at Poly. I was like sitting on one of those tiki things, and my mother took a picture of me. So Carrie and I have been trying to duplicate that, but trying to find one of those green visors is a little difficult. But no, I've been going to Disney for a very, very long time. My wife and I, Carrie, go probably 3-4 times a year, if not more, depending on if we can get away for the weekend. Love the cruise. We actually got married at a Sandals resort 20 years ago, back when it was not cool. Now it's cool. And
You're like the OGs to do it.
Yeah. Actually, when we got married, it's that particular Sandals resort's not even called that anymore.
Oh wow!
So there's a trivia for you. It's now called South Beach. Do you know what it was called before?
North Beach. I'm not a Sandals person, so
Yeah, but we got married there. Geez, we went. I think we were like Diamond members or something.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But then we kind of started switching to cruising. Been on Disney cruises. Started to go to Europe to just see other things other than the Caribbean with Sandals. Did a Virgin cruise, which was awesome, in Greece. Did a Disney cruise in Italy. Did a bunch of Royal Caribbeans. Actually did Allure of the Seas when it was, air quotes, the largest ship in the fleet. By far not that now. And then about 4 years ago, joined Magical Travel and Rachel and Denise.
It's been 4 years.
It was 2021.
Wow.
Yep. It's been a long, time flies, right?
Yeah. You're not kidding.
Yeah.
and you're still there.
And I'm still there.
Speaks volumes for Rachel.
Yeah.
Well, I've known Glenn
Yeah.
since
She's put up with me.
We've got a lot of news to talk about, and then of course a big recap of the Star of the Sea. The HHN food got released a little bit the other day. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in depth next week. We should actually have more information on the menus and whatnot as the event actually starts after this recording. So we'll be able to see that. I do want to mention that they've announced the Dead Coconut Club theme, which is called Coven. It's fun. Like, it's just a dance bar type theme club.
It looks like it.
So if, we all usually go out to eat that Sunday night of the training and want to go to a bar, and this would probably be a good place to go instead of, the lobby bar for the escape rooms, like some idiot suggested last time. I'm that idiot.
Okay. I was
Because we
wondering.
thought it was an escape room, but it wasn't. Like, wasn't it something else? Or
Like I thought they had said like, oh, it's a great lobby bar, so let's go in here and have
oh,
drinks at the lobby bar. But it's
It
like,
was not.
yeah, it was.
We walked in and
concession
walked right
stand.
back out.
Yeah, they're like, oh my god, we're fixing to make some money, and then we said no,
He just walked right back out.
so we went to Big Fire.
Mhm.
But that's all the Universal like we have. We'll go back on that a little bit more next week with the food. But we just wanted to mention that. Big news for Disney though. First off, minivans are going to start have already started taking the deluxe guest. So if you're staying at a deluxe or deluxe villa, you can go back and forth from the airport. It's a $200 one way. So if you want round trip, it's going to cost you $400 to go there. Great little benefit. I think it's a little overpriced myself, but
I don't think it's overpriced because I think it's great for those families that want the Disney customer service
Mhm.
and want to feel safe that they're having a cast member pick them up in a fun Disney Minnie Mouse van or, SUV. And I think it's just a great way to start your vacation.
car seats.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
car seats as well.
yeah, you're
I
guaranteed the
think-
car seats. So
I think people might feel safer because it
Mhm.
is
Yeah, I'd
Disney
say-
branded.
Some Uber, it's kind of a crapshoot sometimes with Uber and Lyft, even if they're like 5-star.
Mhm.
Sometimes they don't drive very well, or like you said, you feel safe knowing that they're backed by the Disney brand and they've been trained as cast members. So your safety is very important to them. So I do like that as well.
I will say that probably the funnest thing that we like about it and we always take at least one every time we go down is to ask them who they've driven, what they used to do before they were part of the minivan process. And you'd be amazed on what they talk about and what they tell you. And then we asked them, tell us one just really cool fact that you normally wouldn't know about Disney. And it makes for like a really fun environment and a fun drive, which you will not get from an Uber Lyft. You won't even get from a private car.
yeah, I'll go.
And I've been in minivans with them and he does ask those questions.
I do.
He
I
does.
love the minivan service.
I do too.
We
We
use
use-
it all the time.
Yeah, we used it on our last trip with my aunt that was in a wheelchair too. But like the lady saw Kova, immediately pulled the car seat out for him to like have
Mhm.
the big kid booster seat. She had it in there. They had a movie playing. She was very nice and helped us like getting the wheelchair in and out. My aunt was very excited to get into something that looked like Minnie Mouse too. Like I just kind of see it
Yeah,
along those
it's
lines. Like,
cute.
but also being a mom with car seats, like it's one of those things when you fly into somewhere and if you're not renting a car, it's one of those things where you're almost like worried about like how are we going to get from here to there. Even though COVID technically in Florida doesn't have to have a car seat, it makes me feel better that he does because people in Florida drive crazy and I don't necessarily not want him in a car seat.
Right.
But I think it's
I mean-
a great thing.
Yeah, I mean, here's what you look at. If you get a private transportation SUV, you're probably looking at about 145 one way. So
Mhm.
is it worth $35, $40 more to be in a Disney bubble and to start your trip off with that way? To a lot of people, I'd say yes.
Yes.
No, I also don't fly into Disney, so like I just pay for minivans to go from point A to point B when I'm on property, and I think that's fun and great. Just because like with Travis, trying to get him into the to a bus or something when he's asleep or tired gives him something to do more relaxed.
So like Micah said, with the car seats, having at one point we went to Disney, we had 2 in car seats. I mean, they whip them out and they can put them in faster than most anybody, and they're put in safely. And like, I mean, obviously they've been trained to do so. That's like you said, and ours are normally at night or either early morning when we have a breakfast reservation. We either have to get somewhere fast or we're at night and we're like, we're not doing the bus thing. We're just sleepy kids not doing it. And it's the best. I mean, it's so convenient. It's worth the money. I think everyone should try it at least once.
And I think now, because they are doing the airport, I think they've switched over to all Suburbans.
I was just about to ask about the luggage space. I'm glad you said that, Glenn.
Yep. Yeah, they used to have smaller Chevys, but I
Mhm.
believe the last time we were in there, the cast member said that they were switching all to Suburbans.
Yeah, ours was a Traverse.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
That's the other thing. We mentioned it with the Uber stuff. They refresh these cars like almost every other year or so. So it's great. You're getting into a well taken care of vehicle.
Yes.
While we're with Disney, the food and wine menu got announced. I figured Terry would love this more so than anything else we've talked about in recent podcasts because this is what she's going to torture me with in a couple weeks.
If it's not Hollywood Horror Nights, that's why I love it.
I
I
figured
mean, don't get me wrong, I love food.
she's going to enjoy HHN because she's going to be with us. But I figured she's going to go through this and find the most disgusting things for me to try.
These aren't disgusting. I'm looking at this menu and I'm like,
It's
man,
so
I wish I was
good.
staying an extra day so I could get some of these.
I'm looking at stuff like Robert loves seafood and just looking at like the Coastal Eats menu, like the seaside pot pie, like Robert.
That's what I was looking at.
Robert would be all over that. And like the lump crab cake too. Like he would love that stuff.
I mean, even things like they have a burger, but it's like a French onion burger. And there's no way that's not going to be good.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't want anything
I'm just
crazy or
Oh,
fancy.
I found one of our drinks for around the world, or at least for me. It's the pineapple colada, the white rum, Dole, pineapple juice, and sweetened coconut milk. That sounds so yummy.
That does sound good. And in they have a frosé in one of them. I forgot which place it, but I was like, that signed me up.
There's a brewing mojito blonde ale. Ooh.
Ooh.
I like mojitos.
See? was
I
gonna
do
say.
too. Actually, at our training last year is when I found out I liked mojitos.
Mojito.
Yep, I did.
And I love
tried
their
it.
selection of like bubble teas and things like that they have.
Yeah, like there's a German onion cake with caramelized onions, bacon, herbs, and savory custard, and that doesn't sound appetizing to me.
Well, I don't like onions, so I
No,
wouldn't.
I
don't know if I
really
could
hate
do
it.
that.
I love onions.
I love onions. I don't know if I could do like they have some French onion soup like dumplings that I thought looked delicious. A mango peach bubble tea.
Oh, it's the Alps menu that has the frozen rosé.
Yes. I knew it was somewhere. In my mind I could picture frozen,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't know exactly what quote unquote country that was. Yeah, I could
Norway.
probably pass Germany, you know.
You wouldn't pass Germany.
I mean, I would definitely have to get
Birgittin.
We
A
have to go to
drink.
Birgittin.
I would have to get a drink outside of the Birgittin. But their food is not my favorite.
They do have a new beer, and I asked the bartender.
Oh,
how to
the
say
berry
this.
lime one?
Yeah,
How is that?
I don't. It says
I don't
new.
know.
I
It's
haven't tried it.
new.
Oh, I thought
But
you
that's
said
the
you asked the
great-
bartender like last time you were there and got it.
No, I asked the bartender how to say the name, and he said it,
Oh.
and I was like, "Yeah, I'm just going to call it Scofferhofer."
Stopperhofer. That's funny.
Oh,
So-
wait. How do you say it, Glenn?
What's that?
The German beer.
The
from
grapefruit
the
beer.
I thought
German-
that's what you're going to say because I know you're a beer guy.
Oh no, I was gonna ask if anybody tried the non-alcoholic pickle milkshake.
No, thank you.
No.
I could do a pickled like shot, but I had
Yeah,
like a pickle
pickleback or
martini
something.
once, and that was too much.
Is that in the test lab?
I think so.
Yeah,
It's the one.
They just got a little crazy with like pickle things.
Yeah, they did. No, they.
I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it or not, and I tried it, and it's different. I think it's a once and done,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but it's definitely different.
Was that out for Flower and Garden? Like when was that one out?
It was out last year.
Oh, okay.
Last year
Was
when we were there, it was there.
for Food and Wine?
Yeah.
Oh.
Jason, we can get you a Belgian waffle with a berry compote. You
That
can
could
eat
be our
that.
breakfast. That could be our
Yes.
breakfast setup. God.
A Remy
That's-
milkshake. When I hear Remy milkshake, I'm thinking like, why did you put a rat in?
There's
the
a rat in
milkshake?
it.
Isn't it a cheesecake? Like strawberry
Yes, a strawberry cheesecake.
Mhm. Like,
With
Which
a
sounds
milkshake.
delicious.
There's fur in my milkshake.
I don't know. I've always wanted to at Canada, which I've never done because it's always so hot when I'm there. I've always wanted to try the cheddar and bacon soup, but it's
Oh,
just
it's
so
good.
hot
So
to eat
good.
soup.
It's good.
It's still.
Is
gonna
it
be hot.
good?
Just suck it up and
Yeah.
eat it.
Okay.
I'll
I'll
share
have
it with
to.
you. That way you don't have to eat the whole thing.
Okay. We'll share. I was really hoping most of our food would be shareables.
I
And we
was
need to
gonna say-
bring little cups so that we can split the drinks.
I was just thinking that about the drinks. I wish they offered a testing size for a lot of them.
They have like there's some places that have the beer flights and stuff like that.
I know,
so-
but that's still like this big.
Yeah, I just want to like drink it. I mean, I'm willing to pay like $5 for it, you know, like overpriced like everything else is, but I don't want 12 or 16 ounces of it. That's
Right.
just
Like,
too
can we have like
much.
5 ounces, like enough for a couple drinks, and then you try it and then move on? to the
Yeah.
next
Well,
thing?
we just
Yeah.
got to remember we have to save room because we are going to Beacon Barrel that afternoon. So
We are.
You got the reservation?
We did. So Food and Wine, I think that's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to our time. Rachel, you will be missed when we go to Food and Wine. We've got.
I know.
nice
Andy and I are
calendar.
just high fiving. It's just
It's
Gotta get home.
understandable. Like, but you don't get to see me eat all the food that I don't like. So
We'll record it for you. Don't
we
worry.
will. Yeah, it'll be on social media somewhere.
Where was Jason? Oh, that's his head in the trash can again.
He got sick. So
You vomit over good food. We're going to fight.
if I vomit, I'm vomiting on you, Terry. Just like you will vomit on me for HHN.
I was going to say, it'll be no different than going through that Terrifier house for me.
Okay. So since we're doing Food and Wine Festival talk and everything, since that's the deal we have is Terry's going to make me try these foods since I'm making her do HHN. We got some cool information for HHN. Art the Clown has full reign over the park. So he can go anywhere he wants to go and he's okay. It's going to be okay for him to scare whoever he wants to scare. RIP
I told
lounges and anything
I
like that.
told
he's
someone
good.
that today, and they literally got goosebumps on their arm and said they might rethink it because they hate clowns so much. I was like, apparently, like you could be anywhere, like restaurant, lounge, anywhere, and he could pop up. And they were like, no.
Do you
Just
think
got
there's going to
ready.
be more than one of
Yes.
them?
I was
Yes.
just going to say
Okay.
the same thing. They're going to be everywhere.
So
Mhm.
you can be in the line for El Artista and Art shows up. Like he can be anywhere he wants to be. And he doesn't talk, so he's just a silent clown that walks up.
That's just creepy.
That's creepier than if he talks, I feel like.
Yeah, because one of the big icons for HHN is Jack. And he is a clown, but he's loud. And he has megaphones and he makes himself known when he goes around anywhere. Art is completely different. And they
I'm
also
so
said,
excited.
This is
I
this
am
is the
too.
best thing for the Terrifier house, and we'll move on because I said we weren't going to talk HHN, and naturally I love HHN. For the dry side, it's going to be fine. You will come out dry. There won't be much. But when it comes to the Bloody Symphony, I think is what they call it. John, I think's the guy's name who's over all this, the creative, stated it's like sitting front row of Jurassic Park wet. So like they are selling ponchos for HHN this year.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. If I have to wear a poncho, I'm going to go on the dry side.
You weren't on last time, Rachel, but I said by this time I'm going to wear a poncho because. But if you don't do it, then I'm going with you. I say I'm going to have to have safety goggles because I pay for
Oh,
these
yeah, yeah.
lashes. They can't get wet. I'm going to have the shoe cover so my shoes don't get gross. I was like, I'm going to walk in this thing like a freak, you know? Just a hazmat
Who said she was
suit,
going to look like a
basically.
mad scientist?
Yes.
Luckily,
Suit,
I
a
have a
hazmat suit.
So preview weekends next weekend. Well, when this comes out, it's Thursday. So I have a friend that's going and he'll be able to tell me what the Bloody Symphony is actually like because that's the site he's going to go on and he loves Terrifier. So we'll know all the actual ins and outs of how wet you're actually going to get. I think they'll tone it down some come the first couple of weeks because who really wants to walk around the park drenched? Like,
Right,
especially
nobody.
at night. I know from personal experience last year of standing in the rain, I didn't like it. So back to Disney news. Recording this on Thursday like we usually do. Disney just randomly dropped a bunch of information on rides and attractions that are coming out. They're working on currently. So we got an opening date for Zootopia Better Together. Is that how you say it?
I think
I
so.
think so.
Stupid. Just say Better Together. Like we don't have to put the
Trying
zoo
to
in.
do a play on words.
I understand, but it's stupid. It opens November 7th. This is what's taking place of It's Tough to Be a Bug in Animal Kingdom.
I think it's going to be cute. It's a good
Yeah.
fit for Animal Kingdom.
Do you think the seats are going to vibrate?
Maybe,
don't
but
do
maybe we won't
something-
get poked in the
They
back
have to
again.
do something
Yeah.
though, because that's the best part.
I am excited. Something Animal Kingdom needs to keep open is they need more attractions. So when they close Tough to Be a Bug, that was a hard thing for them. And now that they have a new attraction coming back online, there's a people eater. We also got a first look at the Buzz Lightyear, and that looks cool.
Mhm.
The ride vehicle looks nice and clean. Being able to pull the gun out, once again, we've said it before, and being able to shoot, that's going to be a great thing. But higher scores. I always put it to the
Yeah.
side. I'm a gangster.
You're a gangster. That's
You do. We got a first look at Big Thunder Mountain. Where they're going to bring in some lighting for the stalagmites and stalactites. I like how in the press release, Disney actually had to say stalagmites are the one on the ground and stalactites the one on the ceilings. It was like a little funny thing that I guess people don't remember. But I just remember stalactites hang on tight from the roof so they don't fall. And then we got Muppets, my favorite, and first concept art for what they're doing at Rock and Roller Coaster. And they're going to.
I don't hate it.
I'm not opposed to it.
And honestly, I think it's one of those things that, because generally people I've spoken to are not excited about it. I think it's going to be a great case of low expectations, and everyone's going to love it because they're not going, it's kind of hard to meet your expectations when you're really looking forward to something. And that's kind of like, I felt like Tron was almost. But I think with this one, people are going to be like, ugh, the Muppets. And then they're going to go on and they're going to be like, oh, that was actually really cool. And they're going to be excited about it.
As long as you're not launching to Micah's recommendation of Rainbow Connections, I'm fine. But
maybe it's the EDM remix, like Rainbow Connection.
That would be hilarious. I was like, just imagine like just the difference between Rainbow Connection and then you take off on Rock and Roller Coaster. I would laugh the whole time.
What if it felt like you took off and it went real slow? It's like, oh.
I think moving right along would be great for the launch because it's that Rainbow Connection feel. It's a kind of a slow song, but then you get the launch and then they go into a different song. I think that'd be great. But it looks like we're going to have some penguins in the sound booth, and then Scooter might be a AA. I don't know if anybody knows yet. And then everything else is going to be screened. So the Electrical Mayhem will be on the other side of the booth. Kermit and Miss Piggy are shown on screens. Let's hop over to Disneyland right quick because they have some actually big news when it comes to their procedures. We got the 2026 packages went on sale last week. So if you want to go to Disneyland next year, we'll be glad to talk to y'all about that. But the biggest thing that they did is take away the extra magic time. It's like it's an hour.
No, early park admission, and it's only half hour.
They cut it down from an hour to a half hour.
Right after COVID, and now they're taking it completely
It's
away.
0.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and you get one lightning lane for your whole stay to compensate.
Yes,
I don't like it.
I would be more fine with it if it was one lightning lane per night or per day of the ticket.
Yeah.
Because
and not for the whole trip, because you could have done early entry or
every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it should be, they should give it at least, if you have a 3-day ticket, you should get 3 lightning lanes.
Yeah.
I understand.
And they should be date based.
Right. I understand that they can't give you the lightning lane package because they've got to sell that. They've got to make money off of it.
Right.
So they're that like, cool. Give me a lightning lane a day for me and my family, and let me pick what I want to do. That's it. Like,
it literally is taking like all the incentive away of wanting to stay on property at Disneyland.
100%.
Yeah.
Like not having early entry, like that was one of the only reasons to stay on property. There was so many good hotels that close within walking distance. Now you can stay somewhere way cheaper, just as close, and you can just buy the lightning lane package and ride just as many rides.
You could actually have more rides done in the first hour you're there because as soon as you walk in that door or those tap styles, you can have 3 attractions booked and go bam, 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 and that family staying on site, it's only getting that one.
When Matt and I were there in February, we went in early, and it was like a Sunday morning, first of all, or something like that. But we had so many, like the park almost looked deserted, and we got so many rides in by going in early, it only being 2 of us. Like we didn't wait until like, I want to say after lunch is finally when we had to start waiting for rides. And we asked people, is this normal? And like, they were so funny because they were such Californians. They were like, yeah. I was like, do you realize at Disney World, like it's packed by now? And they were like, what? Oh my God. Like people are out this early. And I was like, yeah, like they rope drop and run to rides. And they just like, these little teenagers could not believe I guess
They would
call it
not
free.
want to rope drop Magic or
Okay.
Animal Kingdom then be in there
No.
for early entry.
I was
Oh,
like,
I did
man,
that. I just
I
did
love
that.
getting there. I love
Yes.
going early to Animal Kingdom.
No one likes Animal Kingdom.
I feel
But the
like
thing
Animal Kingdom's
about,
more
like-
active in the morning.
It is because there's you got Flight of Passage. It's like 7-hour waits all the time. The other thing is like because Disneyland's structured so much differently. Not every ride is on Lightning Lane, so that extra hour, and it was mentioned in our group when we were talking about this. If those Fantasyland attractions, you go straight to them during that hour, you can knock out.
It's
all of
a
them.
half hour.
Yeah, well, sorry, that half hour.
Okay.
I'm so used to Disney World.
Well,
Disney
I've been
World
at-
is still a
well, I'm-
half hour.
I haven't been as much as I used to. It used to be an hour. Pre-COVID.
Universal's an hour.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So here's the question. You're already pre-buying your tickets at Disneyland and including your Lightning Lane. So what are they doing for you?
Yeah, is that a fourth if you've bought Lightning Lane?
Right.
Oh, I don't know.
Because remember, they're different than Disney. When you buy your tickets at Disneyland, you choose those options while you're buying your tickets. So you're already getting a 3. So are they are they giving you a 4th?
And I'll even go to the point of if you didn't get the Lightning Lane, they give you one, you see how it works. Maybe you like it and you go in and buy it the rest of your trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's got to be a reason that they're doing it, either to get the revenue from the Lightning Lane service because people are like, oh, this is nice. Because a half hour is not really going to help with labor costs, I feel like.
Because those people have to get in the park, not just
It's a half
early.
hour?
They have to get in there even before that, though, to get the rides operational.
Right, but I'm saying
It's
like
only
a half
another
hour. Right, it's not
Right.
like a huge difference.
What
So I
I
think it
read
might-
was that they felt like no one was taking advantage of the half hour. And so they decided to pivot and do something else, maybe as an incentive.
It might not be an operational like expense. It might be a merchandise expense. People weren't buying stuff during that half hour. So if we don't have people buying food, we don't have people buying, t-shirts or jackets or anything like that, why should we be open then when we're not making any money to offset the cost of having the people here to work it?
Fair.
It's stupid.
We
They
all know
should-
Disney doesn't lose money, so there's got to be a rhyme
Disney-
and reason to
I mean,
it.
Disney loses money, but
But you know what I'm saying.
I
not
think they should
charitable.
go to pre-COVID times as obvious. They should have kept it an hour early for everything where you had an hour to go in because that actually did make a difference instead of giving us the 30 minutes that they did and then the 30 minutes at Walt Disney World. But, who am I to tell Disney? Lauren, you need to, we know you'll listen to this since I put Disney in something somewhere and go tell your people we want our half hour back.
We want our hour back.
Yeah, we want
An
our
hour
hour
at
back.
Disney. Yeah.
If you can't get us the hour, we'll take the half hour. But
We'll settle.
yes, the Lightning Lane, or at least give us a Lightning Lane per day. And don't do this in Walt Disney World. It's stupid.
I don't feel like it would go well at Walt Disney World. Like
Oh, it would.
early entry is so busy. Like even like the amount of people lining up to go in and it's
We'll
very
go back
popular.
to everything with Beacon Barrel and how all that went down last week. How many people were mad? I made a couple posts about it. And if you said, hey, all of a sudden you can't get an extra 30 minutes in the park, the whole fandom is going to uproar. I mean, parking, when they did pay for parking at the resorts, it was a huge thing.
Oh my God, I had a client like, it's the same asphalt. What's it matter if I'm staying at a value or a deluxe? Because remember, it was like, what was it 15, 25, 35 for
Something
parking?
like that. Yeah.
It was tiered. Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, what's it matter? It's the same asphalt. I'm like, okay. I'm
Just
And
because
they-
I
making
pay
the
more for my
rules.
room, I should pay more to park my car there.
I always said they should have just hidden it in the fees and just said, hey, there it is.
Right.
Yeah. Just go
Um,
$15 somewhere else per day.
So Rachel is back, like we said, from Walt Disney World into Sandals. So can you tell us what you experienced? What all at Disney and Sandals is there for us to know about?
I spent a whole week with my family, just my husband and my 2 kids. And we stayed at the yacht club and we had no lightning lanes. Didn't buy not one.
Was
Didn't even care.
was that a good thing or a bad thing for y'all? Like, if you went back and did it again, would you have bought lightning lanes?
No.
Did you felt the freedom of just being able to go around and do what you wanted?
Yeah. Like we
Oh,
woke up, like,
man.
what do you want to do today? Like that's literally we had morning reservations, so we knew that Tuesday we had to go to Animal Kingdom. That was the only day that we had to be in a specific park. Um, but no, like it was the most chillest, non-scheduled trip we've ever had. I did buy the charades game or the charades
Charades.
game
Heads up.
or well, it's not called Heads Up, but it's called charades
Oh.
in the app. But like we just held it in. I'm not gonna stand there like this in the line.
Hey,
So,
look
like,
at my bald
other than
head. Right here, bald head.
the kids love that, and I have to say, having my son's 13, my daughter's going to be 12. We got to learn their personalities a little bit more because
Mhm.
we, and it's fun to we're trying to get them to guess the word that's on the screen and to hear like their different hints.
Like hints. Like,
Yeah, like it's just fun to watch them like interact like that. And like there's stuff my daughter said that I had no idea she knew about.
Well, that's the
But
like
love
when
that.
what they call it, Act 1, I think, or something like that. When they started doing the interactive cues,
yeah.
and Pooh still has it with the touch screen and drawing and everything. I liked that because it was getting people out of their phones and getting them to do
Right.
stuff with each other. So seeing that now people are bringing their phones into line and playing games like that versus always sitting on their phones scrolling Facebook, TikTok, anything.
Yeah.
You're getting to have fun with your family, make those memories versus I'm stuck in here trying to find the next lightning lane that's as close as I can to wherever. So like to lead into the next subject, but at the same time continue this one. You mentioned that you and your husband watched Starlight while your
Mhm.
kids went and rode Tron.
Yeah.
So that's something else is because you sent us a picture of them. I guess that they
In
had
line at
sent you at
Tron.
Tron. So
Yeah,
that's got to be
they
something
did,
too,
yeah.
knowing that they're also creating their own memories with each other, doing stuff like that. And
Yeah.
that's putting a different type of smile on your face because
Yes.
yeah, they're growing up, but they're growing up and getting along.
Getting
They
to know
are.
each other.
But so Starlight, like
Yeah, Starlight. I enjoyed being able to sit there and not have my kids bicker that they were waiting. So that's why we shipped them off to Tron, and Andy and I sat. We were in Tomorrowland where we picked seats. I don't know why we chose there. Well, I said I didn't want to be on Main Street because I thought it would be less crowded, actually, but it was just as crowded
Yeah.
over in Tomorrowland. Not Tomorrowland.
I was gonna say it's
Front-
really not crowded in Tomorrowland for Starlight
Because it's the parade together. Not Tomorrowland. Adventure. Frontierland.
Frontier. So where it ends, right? Near where it ends? Because it
No,
starts
it wasn't even. No, what's where like the
Liberty Square?
Christmas
Liberty
shop
Square.
That's
Yeah,
Liberty
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 Square.
Square.
That's right there at Piston Peak,
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
the Liberty Square Piston Peak area.
yeah, that's where I was. I'm like, I just made a left over the bridge, and that's kind of where I.
Oh, because that's
Yeah.
also VIP seatings right there, and you're just accustomed to go to VIP seating.
You were by the 13 lanterns.
Yes, I was. The funny thing about the VIP seating, Andy goes, "Man, I wish we had that VIP seating when we passed it."
So is how early did you get to the parade? to
Yeah,
sit
so it was
down, and
a 9
was it
o'clock
worth it?
parade. The 9 o'clock parade. We got there at 7:30. I'm not even exaggerating.
Did you need to be there at 7:30?
Oh yeah, you
Okay.
definitely need it. Yeah, absolutely,
So-
you need it to be.
Let me ask this then, because if it's obviously it's still new, so we still have that very much popular. Once it gets to the age like Main Street Electrical or Paint the Night or something, where it's still fun to go to, would it be worth 30 minutes finding a spot before the show, or
Yes,
an hour? What would be your like? I have to find.
I would say like a year from now, I would probably wait 20 minutes.
Like it's hard to say right now since it's brand new.
Right.
You know
Yeah.
you're going to wait an hour and a half to.
Oh yeah, I
Have
wanted
to
to see it. I took video of
Yeah.
it. I took pictures. I definitely wanted to see it. So because it's so new, I think it was worth the wait. Yes. It was delayed by about a half hour due to the weather, but at least they got it to work because the night before they canceled it.
Ooh.
So I thought it was great, but I would not wait another hour and a half. Well, I waited almost 2 hours because of the delay, but I wouldn't wait that long. Again,
Highs and lows for the parade, which was
I loved the Encanto float. It had the fireworks on the back of it. I thought was so cool. I don't know. I thought it was neat. I liked it actually better than Main Street Electrical.
That's
Oh
blasphemy.
wow.
Yeah.
You can go back to your toe jam now.
I'm excited
stop.
about that.
I just thought just maybe not the music part, like, because now I'm just thinking of like the little smoking, caterpillar, but but no, I just think the way they did the floats, like they did a really good job of the floats.
I'm excited to see it. I wish we could make time while we're down there in September too, but I don't think it's going to work. Anything else for your Disney portion?
Test track. I would not wait more than an hour for it. I wouldn't even wait. I don't even think I would wait a half hour for it at this point.
So do you think?
Just do single rider?
Yeah, I would single rider that.
So it's not, to you, it was not better than the past two
No.
versions?
No. My daughter, we got on it and she just goes to Andy. Oh, well, they ruined another one. There's no story. There's no testing it out. It just,
At least
They should have changed the name.
Yeah.
it
This
just
test
wasn't.
track just kind of gives it.
And like, I loved that you got to make your own car and then you got to race against the other car. Like, there's none of that.
But that had
Like,
nothing to do with anything, though. You designed your own car and it had nothing to do with anything.
No, you got points though.
You
like
got-
how
you
you
raced the other one.
Yeah.
It should have actually gone into the actual like attraction. It's like, hey, this is going to make it a little like you beef it up a little bit more, but then you do this and something else, like so it interacts with your actual ride.
Yeah, I get that. That's too technologish.
It's Disney.
For what it is, but for like they'd have to change, like take out and do a whole new thing if they did.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't wait as long as I did again.
So your overall favorite thing about the Disney portion?
Flying fish? No,
Of course. You
Just
ate there
kidding.
like for breakfast, lunch, and dinner 4 times.
no, either once. No, overall, because I go to Disney so much and the fact that it was low key and it was just my 2 kids and my husband, I just think it was family time. I really enjoyed spending time with my kids.
To go off a little bit on your lighting lane stuff, that's the way we've been doing it. Like when Bethany's parents come with us, we do buy it because they don't come. But when me, Beth, and Travis go, we don't usually get lightning lane. It's just me and her have been so much in the past. We don't have to ride everything. And most of the stuff Travis wants to ride are 20-minute waits. So why waste the money?
Now, is this the first time you've been with like just your family in a long time?
I've never been to Disney without my parents.
All right. Your sandals side of stuff. Anything new at Sandals that we need to know about?
I wouldn't say new. Well, I mean, they're opening up 2 new beaches. They're doing Treasure Beach at Turks and Caicos. So I'm excited to see what those look like, and I'm excited that they're changing the Exuma location to a beaches because I think that whole property in itself was nice. I really enjoyed the trip. I think it's a great quick flight. I had a direct from Philly on the way there, and it was about a 3-hour flight. The airport's nice, easy to navigate. It's a 15-minute drive from the airport to the resort. There's 2 main sides to it. It has its own private island, which is so cool. It's like you feel like you're in 2 places for the same trip. We got to see some of the ships coming in out of port at Nassau. I enjoyed my time. I thought the staff was nice. And we were just with a really good group of people.
And that was at the Sandals Royal Bohemian.
Correct. Yeah. And the building that we were in the West Bay building. They are renovating it starting in December, which I have to say, I think it needed it. I liked my room layout. I didn't like the some of the things, like the AC wasn't working correctly.
Gotcha.
Some
I
stuff
think
like
the
that.
Royal Bohemian, that's one of the original ones.
I think
Yeah, the reel you shared looked like you had a pretty good little group that went on. Well, do you have anything else to share from Sandals?
no, you got to get there. Like, I could talk
Why?
about it all day long, but like, and Glenn knows it. It's different once you're on property.
Well, okay. We thank you for that little trip recap of yours. We're going to take a quick commercial break and we will see you on the other side.
Are you dreaming of your next adventure but overwhelmed by planning? Magical Travel has you covered. With over 22 years in the business, we specialize in Disney destinations, Universal Studios, cruise vacations, and all-inclusive resort getaways. Our services are 100% complimentary when you book a vacation package with one of our knowledgeable agents. Request a free quote to start the planning process at magicaltravel.com. Mention our podcast to be connected with one of our agents you are listening to if you like what you hear.
And we're back. So last week, Jason and Glenn had the privilege of being hosted by Royal Caribbean, and they got to go on the brand new Royal Caribbean Star of the Seas. They sailed out of Port Canaveral, Florida, and they got to experience 3 nights at sea and a perfect day at Coco Cay. So gentlemen, I would like to know, what were your first thoughts when you saw the ship?
Well, this was, I've said it before. This was my very first Royal cruise. This is only my 4th cruise overall. But since I driving over that bridge, I saw it out in the distance. I was like, holy crap. And the Magic was sitting just maybe 2 ports over. So it was like a huge comparison. It's like, holy crap, this thing's a huge ship. And then walking up to it, eventually, it was just like godsmacked on how big this thing was. And walking in, just mind blown. It was beautiful. Like, Disney has their way of doing things, but Royal Caribbean takes it a different way, and it was beautiful to me. And I never really got my head around everything and where to go. You can ask Glenn. Every time I got off the elevators, I didn't know which way I was supposed to go to get to our room.
I'm like, come on, Jason, go left.
And it wasn't because I was that drunk. It was just because we'd get off the elevator. I'm like, what?
What was your thoughts, Glenn?
I'd say, I flew in, then jumped on the bus. They let us off the bus, and walking in, and it is funny because, I've taken, you get on a Disney cruise and you walk in, and it's a different experience where they announce you when you come on, and it's generally a grand entrance, like either a big staircase, Mickey and Minnie. It just depends on what ship you're on. And it's just like this awestruck when you walk in. And Star of the Seas it was very large, and it was just different. They have this like big abstract, and we posted about it. There's when you walk in, there's a staircase where all these tiles move electronically and they flash, and it's kind of like you feel like you're inside a huge mall. And then I'd gotten there really early. They didn't hold you back because the cabins were ready. So I think I was on the ship by like 10 a.m.
Wow, that's early.
Wow.
Yeah, and
It is early.
And I started walking around. And to Jason's point, I've been on Allure of the Seas. I've been on large ships. And at one point I was taking a video, and I started walking across, I think it was deck 16. And I got about halfway around. And I think even in the video, I said, I think it would take you almost 20 minutes just to walk around this whole deck.
Wow.
The ship it's just huge. The amount of time it takes you to walk from one place to another. And they have everything's really separated well too. So, one show venue is in the aft of the ship. One show venue is in forward. So you're never kind of jammed up with people, even though they were really showing us what they wanted us to see. And even then it was crowded, but it wasn't crazy. And then to find out that the ship holds over 7,500 people.
Wow.
Then with the staff, it's close to 10,000. Yeah, it's a very huge, lavish ship. All the carpets still, bouncy because it's all brand new. It's got the new ship smell. And it was first impressions is, wow, this ship is beautiful and huge.
But even to the point of the size of the ship and the time it takes to get around, the first night, I think we only explored three decks.
Yeah, I mean we toured different cabins, but yeah, we even said like we didn't even make it to half the places we wanted to get to.
Yeah, we did all the suites because we knew the rooms were pretty much going to echo what our room looked like. Um, the infinity balcony would have been like the only big difference because of how that one's set up with the window that comes down. But we saw the suites and then we said, okay, let's start at the top and just work our way down. And I think we only got to 16.
Yeah, I think we went down like 2 or 3 decks. That was it.
Do you think the ship's too big?
I don't know. What's your thoughts, Jay?
I don't, like I said, I don't have the experience on the bigger ships. So the Dream is the biggest ship I've been on before this, and that's considerably smaller than what this is. So to compare, even in my recent memory, being on the Wonder, being 26 years old and being so small compared to the Star, I could know where some places are real easily. Like I knew where the promenade was. I knew where, the hideaway is. But when it came to little small things, remembering where the dining room, where we were supposed to sit in the dining room, it was like, oh, we got to go down another floor to go into our area to sit. But it's just, I think it is a little too big, but it's at the same time, it feels well enough laid out where it doesn't feel massive. Unless you're going to your stateroom. We made the joke about The Shining walking down to our stateroom a few times because it's just an endless hallway.
Yes. I'm trying to remember. I think I took a picture of it. I got to find it.
I think you did.
Because I think I took a picture when there was nobody around. I took a picture of it.
Because we were deck 8, and if you look aft, that's where the Treehouse Villa was. So it ends with a very bright color at the very end of that hallway, and it's just like, oh, this is kind of creepy.
Yeah. I would say, to answer your question, I would say it's in all perspective. Is it too large for a 3-night cruise? Absolutely. I don't think you utilize everything on the ship or even get your bearings and get to really enjoy the ship. You're still kind of learning the ship, and then it's like, oh, well, now I got to get off the ship. So I would say ships that size, you definitely want to do some type of 4-night, 5-night cruise, or a full week and enjoy the ship. Because those first probably about 3 days, we were still getting used to the ship, finding where things were. Pretty much the day before we got off, we started to really get our bearings and started to, oh yeah, we got to go over here. Oh yeah, let's go over here. And we started to figure out where things were and started to really be able to enjoy the layout of the ship. So I think and this is with any of those ships, I think if you're going to take a short cruise, I think a smaller ship is just better in general for most people. And if you're going to take a longer cruise, then enjoy those large ships, because now if you've been on it before and you know where everything is, it's a different story.
Right.
Being on it for the first time, it was definitely, I think, didn't we said like we could probably use like 2 more days to really like see everything on the ship. And the funny part about it is you saw a lot of travel agents, even on that last day and night, really taking photos and videos, because I think they were starting to get accustomed to where stuff was, and they were starting to get accustomed, like, oh, I want this picture, I want this video, and started doing that stuff. And it was kind of towards the end.
I know you said like the hallway was like The Shining, but how was your stateroom? What kind of stateroom did you have? What did you think of it? Because you guys are both like taller men.
I was
So
gonna say, are they comfortable?
We're a
Yeah.
little bit bigger.
We're
We're a little
taller.
bit bigger guys.
The separation between the beds is very minimal.
Yeah.
The joke had been made about cuddling, and it pretty much was, because it's still like only 3 inches in between the beds.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like not even like a nightstand.
Yeah,
With
no.
in between. Okay.
No, not at all. They just kind of push them apart. And we joked that if either one of us rolled and fell in between, we wouldn't get out.
Yeah.
We would just get stuck there, and the other person would have to help, like, drag
Ship
the other one
started
out.
rocking. When
Yeah.
we rolled over.
Yeah, if you rolled over, it was just wide enough you could fit, but not wide enough to where you could probably get out after you fell over. I would say, I've been on other ships, and it's about average as far as size for a veranda balcony. I will say this because it's a new ship. There's a lot of nooks and crannies, and there's a lot of storage to the point of we were in the cabin for probably 2 days, and Jason had his bags in one of the cabinets that opened up, and there's like a cubby that stuck out of it, and I'm like, what is this cubby? And I'm looking around the other side of it, and I grab hold of the mirror, and the mirror opens, and we didn't
Oh.
realize the mirror opened, and it was probably what, Jason, 8, 10 inches deep, something like
Yeah.
that, because you put a couple things in there.
They
Ooh, a hidden
Um,
compartment.
Yeah, but there's a lot
I
of
could-
drawers. I don't even think we didn't even use half of them. They always, they always don't have enough outlets. They
I was
always
gonna say,
don't.
did they have any USB outlets and stuff?
Yep,
there
they
too?
had a USB, a regular USB next to each side of the bed. Jason's side had an outlet. I did not. They had like one USB-C at the desk, then two USBs, and then a European outlet, a regular outlet. But again, not enough to where, I brought like an adapter. We kind of made it work where we plugged in different outlets. Where the TV sat, there was like even little shelves. It was like a cove that the TV sunk into, and in the cove was little shelves that went all the way up, and they had
Oh.
integrated lighting in there. So it was very high tech, very new. Was it huge? It wasn't huge. It
we
wasn't.
were very much having to slide past each other between the couch and the desk when we were getting ready in the morning or at night type stuff.
I will say that, especially with the two of us in the same cabin, I miss Disney's split of the bathroom.
Yeah.
That, one person could be like brushing their teeth and the other person's taking a shower.
Mhm.
I miss that, but our shower was large enough where, like we said, we're not small guys. And I was able to take a shower. There was a seat there was a ledge there. I could stand underneath it and not have to hunch over. I didn't hit my elbows on the side. So it was a very large shower where most of the ships I get on, I'm kind of hunched over just to take a shower. That's just the nature of the beast. So it was, in certain aspects, it was very nice. In other aspects, it was about average as far as size for a veranda / balcony. And then in other aspects, there was a lot of storage. They utilized the space in that area really well.
I will say the biggest negative I think we found of the room would have been the AC. Is
Yeah.
like we'd open up the door to go do a video or something like that. Like, and I just mean like open it, close it, and within that little bit of time, all the cold air was outside, and then it took forever to
Ew.
get the room back to a decent temperature.
And at night, we both kept waking up like sweating.
Yeah.
Like it's almost went in an energy saving mode. We're like, what is going on?
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
But we were deck 8, so we didn't have any noise coming from above us. We didn't have
Nope.
anything coming from below us. We were
Nope.
right behind Central Park on the one side. We couldn't hear anybody running up and down the hallways. So on that side of things, I think it was great that we had a quiet room. And that probably, if I had clients that wanted to go on that ship, I would recommend deck 8 because it's easy to get to Central Park and to Surfside.
So speaking of Surfside, food. What did you guys think of the food? How was your dinner? Like, where did you guys dine at? Because I know you guys were like host it. So what did they have you guys do?
Use hosted lightly there. We didn't do any of the nice restaurants. We weren't invited to try any sit downs like that or
Yeah.
the extra
It was-
pays.
It was invitation only.
Oh,
Mm.
Main dining was probably our biggest disappointment. It didn't. I told Glenn it felt like we were at a Ruby Tuesdays.
oh no.
Mm.
Because-
Was it Ruby Tuesdays or Applebee's?
It was. I think we were comparing.
They're
both
like
of
the
them.
same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I
Why
was
don't
saying-
they
It's always
Bennigan's?
so disappointing.
But
Yeah.
I ordered a New York strip the first night, and it came out, and it looked like something you would get like Applebee's and Ruby Tuesdays give you more meat than what I got. I also got French fries because I am a 12-year-old when it comes to food, and they were cold. They had a fishy taste to it, like they had cooked them in the fish grease.
Mhm.
So The steak tasted good, but it just wasn't. When I think of a steak, I don't think of what they brought me.
Yeah, I think, all the sit down restaurants, obviously they're extra when you go on a Royal Caribbean ship. Unfortunately, we didn't get to try them. They were doing taste testing where it was little bites. I really wasn't up to try anything, and I basically said to Jason, like, I can't get the vibe of a restaurant by handing me a little spoonful of whatever. And to be honest, if I taste it and it tastes really good, again, is that what the meal's going to taste like? I can't really judge what that restaurant's going to be like without sitting there. What's the vibe like? What's the food truly taste like? Like Jason said, he ordered the steak, and it was okay. And I think we felt like the service was good. The servers tried to remember our names. They were calling us by our names, so they were really trying to step up. But the food was pretty much average. I would say that, that's a flagship cruise ship, and you would think it would be just a little bit higher level. One day we wanted to try at the one, what was it? Was it Sur? Was it? Yeah, it was
It was the
Surfside. Was the Smash Burger?
yeah, I can't remember the name of the
But
restaurant.
yeah, right. When you're heading towards Hideaway, where it's just 18, adults only, and you're heading that way, on the same level as the thrill area where all the slides are. They had almost like a beach getaway type deal where it was all covered. You get chicken fingers, hamburgers, hot dogs, tater tots, French fries, and they had a smash burger. And both Jason and I said, "Wow, this was really good." The smash burger is really good. Even when we had pizza, the pizza was actually really good. And we were encountering stuff like that it was actually better than our sit down meal at dinner. So I think that if I had the opportunity to like physically take a cruise to where I was there, I don't know how much I'd eat in the dining room, to be honest. I'd
Well, and
probably pay a little bit extra and do the sit downs, or just kind of like, as Disney would say, quick service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get the smash burger if I'm going to eat like a kid. What'd you say, Jason? 12-year-old?
Yeah, 12-year-old. God,
12-year-old.
because that's what I told the people at our table. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm eating like a 12-year-old.
Yeah, I would just get the fries, the smash burger, some nuggets, chicken fingers, and be done with it. So food was okay. I mean, where they had the shakes, and it's funny, when you travel to Disney and you have clients that go to Disney, and you've experienced it, this was not like when you think of a milkshake, you're not, I mean, you just stayed at the yacht club, right, Rachel? And
Yeah.
you think of where you get a milkshake there, right?
Beaches and cream.
Correct. This was far from it.
Yeah.
Well, and to their
Yeah.
defense, they had put out a tray of milkshakes, and it's like you had strawberry vanilla or chocolate.
Oh, is it all
vanilla.
melty?
Yeah, so
It
you
was.
walked up and it was more like chocolate
Hey.
milk with just a little bit of ice cream in it.
But again, this is, these are first impressions that you're giving people.
Right, people that are selling your product.
Yeah.
Right. So, it was try it, and it was like, this is okay. But like no dry, no toppers, no, it just wasn't, it definitely wasn't anything that was Instagrammable. You didn't want to take a picture of it. It was just like, here's your plastic cup with your semi-frozen chocolate milk in it. And that's some of the stuff we were encountering when we were on there with the food. But then we had some like great moments where the smash burger was like, wow, this is really, I actually had two. I was like, this is awesome. I'd rather have this than dinner.
I was going to say, do you think the food that way too is because those places that you guys ate, like for the smash burgers and the pizza, it's because they're being made fresh right then versus like the main dining room? Those are big batches of food being made
That's
at a
what I was
time.
gonna
And like your
ask.
fries are cold because they made them a little while ago and then they've been sitting in in
Yeah.
the basket to be served on the plate.
Yeah.
I think my fries were cold because they had to go down to Surfside to get the French fries. And
Yeah.
From the fish oil.
yeah.
Right. I think I mean, here's the, and I guess as you travel and you get a better palate, and where you expect more, and you're spending, you're not just spending $1,500 on a cruise. You think about Disney's food. A lot of times I'll say Disney's food's in the middle. You love touring around to the different restaurants. The food is pretty decent. Is it excellent? It's not excellent, but it's pretty good. When I
Virgin.
when I took the Virgin cruise, um, every restaurant we went to was like Apollo,
Yep.
on a Disney cruise, or a pay sit down. But that's your option. That's your only option. There isn't that buffet. And it was funny because the one day we sat and had breakfast, and it was a little bit later, and they'd switched the breakfast over to lunch. And Jason and I were walking out, and they had like, I don't know, 16 cheeseburgers sitting on a hot plate with
The plastic over the saran wrap.
plastic saran wrap over the top of it. And I pointed to it and said to Jason, like, that's what people are getting. Like, God knows how long that's going to sit there before people actually take the hamburger or the cheeseburger. And that's the type of food that you're getting. And it's just not, it's like, it's not the most palatable food. Now, one of the things I ate at in the Aquadome. When I was there so early, I was hungry because I got up, I think I got up at 2:30 in the morning. And at that point, I was like, I need to get something to eat. Some of those quick service, them making food for you there wasn't too bad. It was definitely better than going to the buffet and eating in the buffet. And it was weird. The one morning I found they would make you omelets. So freshly made omelet or egg white or whatever you want, however you wanted it. They had the ingredients there. And you'd tell the person what you wanted. They wrote it down on a white piece of paper, and they hand you one of those little vibrator things, and the person would make your omelet. And I said to Jason, right here, this right here is how Virgin is when you is how Virgin is when you go into their area where you could get all kinds of different foods. Where if you just wanted something quick, nothing is sitting there pre-made. You walk up, somebody says, "Well, can we get you? Like, what do you want?" They write it down. They hand it to the person cooking. They make it right there. They hand you one of those things. You go sit down. It goes off. You go get your fresh meal. From salads. It was one of the few places that the 4 different types of lettuces, stuff like that. So some of this stuff is night and day, and you start looking at the costs between a huge Royal Caribbean ship like, Star of the Seas or a Virgin cruise ship. And if you're an adult and a foodie, you start leaning towards that Virgin because you just get a better overall experience. The ship's not as big. Entertainment's fun. And I will say that the entertainment was crazy good on this ship, and we could talk about it, but really, really good.
Well, yeah, let's talk about the entertainment.
Yeah.
So what did you guys do? Did you see any shows?
We saw all the shows that were available. So first night we saw the magician. Was it Hector the Magic or something like that was his name?
Yep.
It was pretty good. He did a lot of sleight of hand. He did some of the read your mind type magic. I don't remember what that's exactly called. And then he did some bigger stunts. And it was enjoyable. I thought it was going to be a cheesy little magic show, and
yeah, he was pretty good.
Yeah. Then we saw
the whole thing with numbers. He handed out some papers that had numbers pre-written on it. And then he told everybody to pull out their cell phones and put their calculator on. And then he was like, hey, he pointed to somebody. He's like, when were you born? What year? And they're like, 1977. He's like, all right, put 1977 in your phone. He pointed to somebody else. He's like, what cabin? What's your cabin number? What cabin number are you staying at? And they'd rattle off the cabin number. All right, put that number in your phone. And when we got done adding everything up, the number we came up with was the number he had handed out on the pieces of paper. So pretty bizarre.
Yeah,
no, do you think that's staged? That's got to be staged.
I don't know how it works, but it also went on to, he was telling a story about the first cruise ship he had, like our most memorable cruise he'd been on, and it was on the Vision. So the numbers that we had equaled out to and he had written down, you flip it upside down and it was Vision. So
It's
it was
sped up.
like, whoa.
Mm.
Yeah, it was pretty bizarre. The second one we saw was Seoul, which was the ice skating. Which did you
Oh.
enjoy that, Jason? I think you had said,
Yeah, I enjoyed it more than I thought I would, but it still is
Yeah.
not like I would have to do it. The whole premise of the show was like you were listening to the radio. So the ice dancers would go to different genres. So they have like country music or like a Latin themed, and then at the end it was extreme ice skating. I didn't know was a thing, but these three guys came out with spiky helmets and they were jumping off ramps and backflips and all that stuff. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, evidently there was some I guess I don't know, are they considered ex-Olympians or are they always Olympians?
Yeah, so they always put in the show beforehand that we have Olympians and professional of whatever, so skaters or divers or
Right.
Broadway stars, whatever. So
And
it
I
was
will
just like,
Yeah, I will say that some of them were doing like, I don't know, whatever they're called, triple luxes or where they spin around like 4 or 5 times. Like,
Oh, wow.
oh yeah, it was like, it wasn't just spin around twice. It was like some pretty good flips and I mean they were actually pretty good and pretty unison.
the only problem I think with that venue, and that we had talked about it, was that maybe I think it was this one. You had to go through the pub,
Yeah,
the sports pub.
yeah,
get
you
to
went.
it.
Yeah, it was really weird. You
So it
had
was
to
like,
walk through the sports pub to get to the venue.
yeah, and it was a bottleneck. So you bottleneck going in, and then when everybody's trying to get out, it bottlenecks back through, and it's like this wasn't planned out too well.
Yeah. Because then when you went to go leave, then people wanted to, at first we were like, oh, this would be a bar to go to. There's nobody here. There was like 2 people sitting at the bar. And then we go to leave and then it's packed. And we're like, oh, now everybody's sitting here. This is not where you want to be.
And they put foosball tables right next to the walkway, so people were standing there playing foosballs, or there's some arcade games people were playing. It's like they're in the way of the walkway.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So not really thought through. Show was pretty good. But the third show was Back to the Future,
Yeah, the musical.
the musical, which kind of blew our mind because they didn't have fake music. They had what was it, 16? Was it
Yeah, it
12
was-
or 16? 16, right?
16, I think. 16
Yeah.
piece orchestra.
It's-
Oh,
wow.
wow.
So they had a 16-piece orchestra tucked underneath where the performers were, which was kind of cool. Everything was very surround soundish. We felt like it was a little long though, because every show was 45 minutes, and that one was what, Jason, like
It
an
was
hour
almost
and a
like,
half?
yeah, it was closer to 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a long.
That's a big chunk of time to take out of your
Yeah.
trip too. Like to go,
Yeah.
oh, I'm going to go sit down for an hour and a half, 2 hours to watch a show, especially on a ship that big with so much to do and explore.
Yeah.
And it was Back to the Future, is such an iconic movie. But they've taken a lot of they made sure to hit the highlights that we all know and love. But at the same time, they've changed a lot of it so that they didn't have to, like the poop truck is not in there. He doesn't come running into that with the car.
Yeah.
It's not the thieves coming and killing Doc Brown. He gets plutonium poisoning.
Yeah.
So it's just
Oh.
things that pace it, but then at the same time you get to points and it's like there's a scene that's 5 seconds of Doc and Marty talking, and then it goes to the next scene. It's like, could we just not have had that? That didn't add anything. Then Torque.
Yeah, Torque was good. Even though they were having a lot of difficulties technically with it. It wasn't working the first 2 days, I think. Then the third day it popped up. They started using it, and it was again Olympians, the professional divers, real upbeat. They played all kinds of different music. It was really good. I mean, the time blew by when they were doing it. They had to stop at one point because they had a misfunction with one of the trapeze things. But overall, I think it was and we weren't even in the center, and I think it was an overall really good show.
Yeah, that was probably the one I wasn't looking forward to because I was like, we're just watching people dive off diving boards and whatnot. I don't, But then coming out, I was like, okay, that's probably like my favorite show that they had because the music was great. The energy that the performers had was up there. It was amazing. When Glenn said that the thing was down, the venue was down for 2 days. When we walked in, when I met Glenn that morning in Aquadome, they were taking parts of like big pieces of the stage apart, and it was like, okay, yeah, they're like something's really wrong with this thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there was like 4 guys working on it, like with huge pieces apart. We're like,
yeah, they like pumps coming out type stuff.
yeah, we might not see the show this time. We were talking about it.
I was very surprised because I'm a big metal fan when it comes to my music. So Metallica was being played with Limp Bizkit mixed in, and then they transitioned to the Beatles from Metallica. I'm like, how on earth do you do that? And who said, let's go from Fuel to Let's Go Drive My Car, whatever the Beatles song was? And I'm like, it made sense, but it's just like, who thought of it? But I enjoyed it. And like, we didn't see half the dancing.
Definitely a go-to. When they lock that down, that's definitely going to be a go-to show. Probably a high demand show.
Was there a wow moment that, on the ship, you're just like, wow, this is really cool?
I think it was at night. It might have been the last night or the next to the last night. We were walking around, and when everything was lit up, Central Park, we were all the way up, like 17th or 16th or 17th floor, and we were kind of taking pictures down below, and it was really just one of those like, wow, this is really beautiful. Or just kind of hanging over, looking down at how they designed and engineered the ship areas. And everything was like, at one point there were stairs that went up in the kind of like the kiddo area, and every stair had a different color. It lit up in a different color.
Ooh.
So we
That's fun.
Yeah, we
That's
took a
cool.
picture of it, and it just popped.
Mm-hmm.
The whole area just popped. And some of those things that they engineered, and it gave it a whole different feel. During the day, you walk by, you didn't think twice. You just like, you flew up the steps to go somewhere. At night, you literally stopped and went, oh my God, and took your phone out and wanted to take a picture of it. And I think that was probably a huge wow moment for me, because not all ships are like that. And they did a lot.
Yeah.
They did a lot of that. There was probably, off the top of my head, I could think of 5 to 10 different areas that I found myself stopping, grabbing my phone, and going, I got to take this picture. I'll take a bunch, and then I'll find the best picture.
I think the best way to compare it would be like Magic Kingdom, right? You go into Magic Kingdom, end of the day, it's a big wild moment for your first time. Anytime it's the castle, it's there. But when you go into Magic Kingdom, or really any of the Disney parks at night, it changes. There's a whole new dynamic to it. They've put the time and effort to really light this thing to make it look different. And that's what it felt like to me on this ship. Was like Glenn said, you walk through and it's impressive what they're doing. And Central Park was beautiful during the day, but it's just a park. But then you're standing up there looking down on it at night, and everything's lit up. It's the lighting package. It can really change the way you feel at night. And they've done a great job making that lighting package just pop.
Here's the attention to detail. I was walking through Central Park. I don't think Jason was on the ship yet. I was taking video, and they piped in bird sounds in Central Park. There was not a bird around, but they were piping in bird sounds that you could hear.
I had noticed that the last day we were walking through, and it was kind of quiet. I could hear it.
Yep. That's the attention to detail.
That's neat.
That's awesome.
Wow moment for me, I think, walking on the ship and seeing how massive that promenade is right there with the pearl in the center, and it was just like, whoa, like just never seeing something to that grand of outdone itself. And
so my last question would be, what would be one piece of advice that you would give anyone sailing on the Star of the Seas?
I'm going to be a little controversial on mine, because I don't know if you have an answer, but I was thinking about this before. And we've talked about it, I think. I know I've talked about it to somebody. I don't know if I'd actually get off on Perfect Day on Coco Cay if I'm on Star or Icon. Because if I want water slides, I don't want to pay $100 and something to do water slides on an island when I can do them on the ship and have the flow rider and all those snorkeling to myself. me and Glenn, we did the tour around the island. We were completely drenched in sweat, and
Yep.
he actually walked around Hideaway out there, got pictures, and we looked at each other and said, "Let's go get in the pool on the boat because it's less crowded." And that's what we did.
Gotcha.
Because if you're sailing on one of the other ships, Symphony was sitting next to us, and they have the Abyss, which is a couple water slides, but it's not to the extent of what they have on Coco. I can see paying for that, but to me, that would be my thing: is if you're going on the big ships, maybe don't spend the money for Coco Cay and take advantage of the ship that day, especially if you're on a shorter cruise like you are.
I don't think that's controversial. I think that's a great
No.
tip, especially if you've
I do
already
too.
been to Coco Cay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a great tip.
When you're already spending so much money to be on that like nice new ship too, and you
Yeah.
want to spend that time because it's so big and so hard, or like there's so much to see. But just that, again, great tip, because Star of the Seas has such a wonderful area with the water slides and the pools and everything that you don't necessarily need to get off anywhere.
I was
I get
gonna say,
off
take
in my
advantage of
room.
all those amenities.
Mm-hmm.
Glenn, what would be your tip?
Well, I mean, I think I agree with Jason, unless you were wanting to. I'm trying to remember, Jason, refresh my memory, when we went out and there was the over the sea bungalows. Do you remember it?
South Beach.
That South Beach?
Yeah.
I could see doing South Beach. Like if you were without kids and you wanted to hang out, they had the music going, over the water bar, that type of deal. If you wanted to hang out, I agree with Jason. If you're on one of these mega ships, definitely take advantage, because as you walk around a mega ship, there was multiple infinity pools that you could chill in. I can't remember how many jacuzzis we saw, but I think my tip would be, and I think Rachel, you kind of said it a little bit. If you're on a Royal Caribbean cruise like this, that maybe bypass the main dining and spend a little bit more and do the sit down restaurants.
Yeah.
And if you want to save money, then maybe one day just hang out by the Jacuzzi's infinity pool and get a smash burger. Eat like a 12-year-old, get your fries. get your chicken nuggets and a smash burger, and just enjoy the day. You don't have to sit down and get all dressed up every night. You know what I mean? I think I probably, just due to the nature of that beast and have sailed other ships, I don't even know if I'd go, to be honest. I get it, it's included, but I don't know if I would do it.
Thank you, gentlemen, for
Yes.
your point of view of the new Star of the Seas by Royal Caribbean. I appreciate you representing magical travel, and I hope I can get on that ship because I definitely want to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks for again
for
allowing
again,
us to represent.
So that's going to do it for today. It was a great time having you, Glenn. Can you let all the listeners know how they can get a hold of you if they want to book a Royal Caribbean, Virgin, or a Disney trip?
Yeah, absolutely. It's Glenn at magicaltravel.com.
That's going to do it for the rest of us. If you want any of the great agents at Magical Travel to plan a no obligation quote for you, please visit us at www.magicaltravel.com. Next episode, we're going to talk HHN food. I know that. I don't know what else we're going to talk about, but hey, if we have an opportunity to talk about HHN, I'm going to do it. Till the next time, we'll see you on the next episode.
Bye.
Thank you.